Get me some coffee, you guys. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Anybody in here? How you doing? I'm making me some coffee, so just hang on. And I just thought I would go live first, but I'll be right back. I gotta get this coffee. I gotta get this coffee. Hope everybody had a good night's sleep. Just let me get this coffee, and I will be right there. Hold on, hold on, hold on. No. Good morning, everybody. Hold on, I'll be right there. Get my coffee. Let me get my coffee. I'm coming. And I'm gonna do my juice. On a second. Ooh. Okay. Good morning. Anybody in here? Okay, good, because I need to get my coffee. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? How did everybody sleep last night? I think this light might be a little bit too bright for me today, but I might have to turn it down a little bit. The lighting in my eyes. I might have to get some sunglasses as well on because I've been having some issues with the lighting. So if not, then I might have to switch to my little emoji or the avatar so I can turn the lighting down. But how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody had a good night's sleep. We just are going to be talking about some random chit chat, possibly how you guys are feeling about these new rules that are coming out and what exactly they mean. So I'm not sure that I want to touch on that area yet, but whatever you want to say. So let me grab this coffee. I shall be right back. And hold on. Okay, I'm back. So they was coming for me the other day when I had my pumpkin spice. But I don't care. I don't care. got pumpkin spice mixed with chocolate. I can't drink it alone, but I can definitely put my own twist to it. And it's really good like this anyway. Try that. So I noticed, because I watch my own things, I'm very observant, and I take note of my own stuff, right? So when I get ready to go online, I get notifications on my own to my own phone. And so it takes, the last time I calculated it, it was about 12 to 15 minutes. So if you go live and you end the live before that because you don't have anybody in there, nobody knew. Who knew? Nobody knew you was going on. So that's why people say, wait, before I get started, let everybody come on in. So if that one person that's watching feels comfortable enough to say hello, then we can chit chat. But otherwise, I'm gonna sit here and drink this coffee. I'm mixing the cacao in. The cacao comes in a powder form, not cocoa, cacao. And I drink it because it's supposed to be really high in iron. And so that's what I needed. I'm always looking for anything and everything that's healthy and nutritious and tastes good, that has that's loaded with iron, so that I don't become anemic. Because sometimes when you change your diet, you don't know when you're eating any and everything that you might be getting what you need out of it. But 9 times out of 10, most people are starving from the nutrients that they need, even if they are overweight, even if they're, eating a lot of different things. The nutrients that they need on a daily basis is lacking. So it's hard to get a balance in anything anymore, but I try. I am trying. I might not be perfect at it, but I'm striving, which is good enough for me. And it's good enough for the doctors that run my lab work at least once a year. At least. I think I skipped one whole year, but I was juicing like crazy that year. So I was like, I ain't going. And they was calling me, trying to get me in there. You missed your appointment, Tisa. Okay, bye. But wow, this is really good. Really good. Maybe I could play some music. Not. Let me see. Not on this channel. See what that says. Wake, pray, slay. I think I got this from the dollar store. Doing my best to do that. And you know what is funny? Every morning I'm trying to talk myself out of going live. Every morning. Every single morning. And so you see that didn't work. You see that's not working because let's see, 9 minutes and 27 seconds just got the notification that other people have been notified. So anything under that would have been like a no. The notification just went out. I just got it. So we wait and we see. Good morning. Good morning, Four Horns Farm. Did you just get the notification? Did you just get the notification? Because I've been clocking it. I have been clocking the notification. So I go ahead and I go live, and then I get my own notification, and then I wait to see when that notification goes out. So just this morning alone, the notification went out right at 9 minutes. And so there was one person in here, and then um, right after the notification, then you came in. So good morning. Good morning, Detox Diva. How are you? Sugar Plum. She didn't call me Sugar Plum. I like that though. Thank you. It sounds so warm and fallish. So yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. You know, I could be up here complaining. There's a million and one things that I could be like a list of stuff that I could be saying this and this and this. I choose not. So I'm doing good. What about you? How you doing? How's everything going on your side? I want to get you up here again to talk about, some things. Talk about when you started. I want to talk about some of those things because I don't want people to be discouraged. So there's a lot of people that get stuck, and there's a lot of people that just need to be encouraged. And so that's what I kind of feel like I need to do. Just telling people you are sweet, you are sweet, you are warm, and your smile is infectious. That's awesome. And thank you for saying that. I do my best. I think the only people that will probably say differently are my children and possibly, probably my husband. So I keep them off the camera. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's good. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate it. But when I have been in my zone, I feel good. I feel good. I did some recording yesterday for my other page, and I feel really good about it. And so um, I'm happy about that. But that's what I want to come from this page, and as well as my other page. I just want to make sure that I'm constantly in a zone that's healthy, no matter what's going on outside, or even inside, because most of us we don't have to look outside. Most of us, right there in your own home. I mean, for those who love to stay in honesty, no two people can, get along perfectly. And so when you talk about you on the schedule, coach, I'm ready. Really? Girl, I've been doing my best to bring people what is working for me. I can't force you to do it. I cannot force you, but I could just say, and I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's coaching, consulting, just random talk about, prayer and things that are working for my life. Whatever you want to call it. You can, that's what I tell people these days. Whatever terms you want to put on it, by all means. I'm starting to drive. I meant put me on the schedule. I got you. Okay. I definitely will, because I like the way you own it was like, I do this and I do this in my channel, And I like, sometimes I don't feel like talking, y'all. I mean, I know that might be hard to believe, but sometimes I just want to sit and listen. And so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with just asking questions and listening. But I appreciate that. Thank you. And I know what that looks like because I'll be driving. Let me see. I'll be driving. Okay. I'll be driving it feels like from here to Mexico. And I don't know if you know where I live in comparison to Mexico is about, if you want to go through San Diego, It's probably about 150 miles. So I think that's what it is. Yeah, probably about 150. So my you are a life coach, the influencer, a motivator, a warrior. That's what I look at myself, and we learning through the process. Yes, 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 and yes. We are. We definitely are. And one of the things that I'm finding, especially in this YouTube game, and especially just in general in this world, is that things are constantly changing, things are constantly moving, and you just can't. You gotta have a plan. And I've been saying that, since I came on here. I said I got my notebook. I've been telling y'all I got my notebook, and I plan things. I write things down, and when you write stuff down and you organize that way, you can look back at it and you can see what's working. You can see what didn't work. You can cross those things off that didn't work and try something else. And if that don't work, don't totally get rid of it. Just put it to the side and come back to it. Every year, that's what I do. Okay, let me get on here and try again. It didn't work out you know let's try something different. I do that with everything in my entire life. I promise you, I don't ever get rid of the idea, the whole idea altogether. It's just like, this ain't working for me right now, right? So anyway, I don't know what I'm juicing today, y'all, but I know I got some celery in there. I keep celery. I don't know what I'm juicing today, but I know that celery is in the refrigerator. You can always count on that. So I think I might have some more carrots, but I don't know. I need to get out here and do some grocery shopping, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel like grocery shopping, so so we shall see what's going on in here today. I don't know. Um, I don't have that planned. I have something to do earlier today with the kids, some family time that I'll be having with the children probably in the next few hours. But after that, because I've been maybe washing, I need to wash. I haven't washed all week, which is not typical of me. I usually wash, let me see. I am usually washing clothes maybe every other day, but that's crazy. And I've been doing a lot of running this week, so I ain't doing it. I'm gonna do it today. Hi, Flower. Hi, Flower Glamorous. Welcome to the live. How you doing? I am so honored to have you here. Oh my goodness. There's been so many things that have been making me tear up this week. I am so honored to have you in here. I go and watch you as often as I can with both of my channels sometimes. And it is amazing to have you in here. Thank you for coming. Let me take a few minutes and do my breathing, y'all. Don't make me cry this morning. I am trying to get out of my feelings and get out of my tears. Oh my goodness. So easy for me to cry these days, y'all. I promise you. Just having Flower come into my room this morning. I said I wasn't gonna cry about nothing today. Wow. But good morning. Let me take a few minutes to breathe. Breathe, Tisa. It is a mess in my emotions, but I know that this is the time, y'all. Anyway, it's the time. It's the season. It is the season of reminiscing about people, places, and things. And man, you just done came in here and got me all teared up today. I said I wasn't gonna, but just like that. And I was just talking about change just right now. Having been Oregon, I know they are, but it's another detox, right? When I'm always talking about detoxes, it's another detox, like a purging. Let me stir on this coffee and drink it some more and take some time to breathe again. But thank you. Thank you for coming. I feel like, when it's amazing. It is really amazing. When I came to YouTube, I did not come here to be no content creator. I promise you. I came to watch and learn, because that's what I've been taught to do as a child. I had a lot of questions, much like my little girl now. Well, probably all my kids, but mostly like my little girl, the 7-year-old. Lots of questions, a whole lot of questions. And my grandmother would do her best to answer them as best as she could, but my dad is the one that said, "Go get a notebook, Tisa. That's too many questions. I can't answer all of these questions." And he said, "Go get your notebook." Because I had already asked him quite a few questions before that one. And he bought me a notebook and a variety of pens. Now, you get me some colorful pens, some markers, and a notebook, and we good. Because I'm always writing the plan. What's the plan, Tisa? I don't know what the plan is, but let me go sit here in my quiet zone and think about it. So, but these unpredicted plans, those are the ones. Like I didn't imagine that you would be in here this morning, but I'm happy you are, because some days I don't, I've been hearing a lot of people say, well, there's people watching and they don't say anything. But I've been that way. Some days I don't feel like saying nothing. I'm just listening and I'm agreeing. And then there's other days where I'm like, you can shut me up. You cannot shut me up. I agree with that. I believe that. I'm listening to that. And I'm taking notes. I might not always say nothing, but I'm taking notes. It's about time for me to cry detox fever. You better go on. Get that cry out, because I'm telling you, I'm just when you think, look, just when you think that I'm good, I'm so solid right now. I'm not going to cry. I'm so solid right now. Is when those tears are like right there, and somebody just come through and just say something or do something that's like, so yeah. Yeah, my dad, he was like, I can't take it, Tisa. You got too many questions for me. You gonna need to write some of this stuff down. But not only did he just give me the notebook, but he always had one with him. And I have some of them. I have some of my grandmother's writings and some of the stuff that she used to do all the time. My mother wasn't so much of a writer. She just she worked all the time, and she would tell me to go look it up. Go look that up. And she bought me some encyclopedias and a dictionary. So it was over then. And then they had the audacity to come out with a Google. Google is so messed up. I'm like, wait a minute. Look, let me Google that right quick. So I'm always looking up stuff for myself. But anyway, I said I was gonna breathe and I haven't. I've been talking ever since. Hang on, y'all. Hold on a minute. A minute. Uh, let's see who this is right quick, because I don't think there's any. Are there any moderators in here right now? Huh. So until I look that one up, I'm not. But let me see who else is in here. Perry Tyler, welcome to the live. Good morning. How are you? How are you doing? Welcome. And let's see. Tears are good. Nothing wrong with that. Four Horns Farm says yes. There's a song that I can't listen to. I'm usually okay with my feelings, but I need to stir my coffee and breathe too. Yeah. You saw that? Um, let me see. It's about time for me to have a good releasing from the soul, great wisdom. I never feel like I'm good. Your dad set you on the right path. Hi, Maria Cervantes. And I want to acknowledge this other one, but it's not showing up on my phone. And usually what I do is I go check people out, especially if they look dark. But I'm just gonna leave it right there for a time because I don't usually it comes up on my phone and I'll just go and say, let me see who this is. This looks a little bit dark and I don't recognize it, but um, I'm excited either way. Let's see. Hi, Screw. Welcome to the live. How you doing? I'm gonna go back up here and put some of these on the screen because I like on the playback. You can see, it doesn't just sound like I'm crazy. Uh, so, yep. I love me a good notebook. And I think that because a lot of people don't have a notebook, like a lot of people are using their minds to remember things. And while that might be okay, soon as something come through like a gust of wind, and I'm saying like this storm, right? You don't remember nothing. I couldn't, like when my mom passed, I didn't remember anything. I felt like my mind was just wiped because I couldn't remember and I couldn't even really see. So that's why I keep my notebook and I keep a journal because when the storms come through, even though you prayed up and everything, right? When those storms come through, it has a way of kind of knocking you off your feet. And so um, it's good to have a notebook. At least you can read up on what at least was planning to do. Maria Cervantes says, I'm doing really, really good, but I've had a few people on other live streams tell me, please return. What does return stand for? Because I got a little confused. It's basically S for S, if you know what I'm talking about. So just I mean, don't worry about it. If you don't understand it in time, you'll learn what that means. But basically, it's sub for sub. So we're not doing that because YouTube doesn't want that. So, there's nothing wrong with, I believe, connecting in the chat, but you have to do it the right way. And a lot of people, they won't respect your chat and they'll still come through with hearts and pointing fingers and stuff like that. And I don't tolerate it. I just delete it because it's like, it's disrespectful. So I think it is, when you open up your door and allow people to come in and then they know how to act, right? Most people, this is not their first time. There's very few people that come into your chat that are new. And so most people have that, they know what they're doing. And so I haven't been one that, I'm nice and everything, but it's like, wait a minute, you disrespecting this whole entire thing. So goodbye. I'm doing great, and yourself in chat. I need to get in the habit of writing stuff down. I think it's powerful. So I was thinking about, what I was going to talk about today. That's why I put just random chit chat. And of course, I'm always going to talk about. I am always going to be talking about juice because that's where I am in my entire life. Juice is doing some amazing things for me and my blood and my just overall well-being. And so I'm always going to talk about that. I'm having celery, it looks like, just today. But I like to get into the idea if you're not writing and taking things down, that maybe you should start. And one of the things that I was gonna get, I have like a whole basket full of books because every time I go to Ross or I go to Burlington Coat Factory, I just like the little notebooks with the little sayings and stuff on them. So I grab like a handful of them, but I might do like a drawing or a giveaway, and then just kind of tell people what I do. But I can start doing that today. What an awesome topic! Thank you. Um, yeah. So basically, what I do, especially when the last week of the year is ending and I have my children participate in it, they will tell you from the 31-year-old on down to the 7-year-old, they all have a notebook and they all have a multicolored pack of pens. Every year, I shut things down. TV down, social media is down, everything is down, and we explore goals. We set goals and I do not do what do you do that at the first of the year? Um, you know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what to call it. I don't do that. I set goals, and one of the things that we do is I ask them what they want to do when they grow up, and then I ask because my dad was always asking me, "What you gonna be? What you gonna be, Tisa? What you gonna do?" And I never knew. You know, at first, I guess when I was smaller, I would say what every average, child says, I want to be a nurse and a police officer and all those things in one. But I try to work with the children on their gift level. So if they're good at something, I try to say, well, you're good at this. Write that down. Aren't you good at that? And then, they start writing. But for myself, what I do is I take month by month. I divide the year up by the months, and I have like this journal. I grab me a new journal like every month, right? So I have 12 journals a month, and I might date it by the week, maybe. But there's some times when I just say, you know what, that's just doing a little bit too much, Tisa. So um, I might just say, I might not even have a date on it at all. I just might just be writing and saying what didn't work today, what I said that might not have worked. Because sometimes I say things and I'm like, can we retract that? But anyway, so what I do in the journal and at the end of the week is or at the last day of the year, is I go back through those things and I'm in total prayer, you guys. Total prayer. Total prayer. Because I feel like I need that relationship with my maker, right? So praying about what didn't work and what could possibly work for the new year coming with the year that I just had in mind, right? So I do that, and then the first week of the year, I take that too. So it's 2 full weeks, the last day of the year and the first week of the new year. I take that. And everybody knows, everybody in my surrounding knows, now if you call me, I'm not available. And it took me a long time to get to that point. But I've been doing it uh, technically for about a good 15 years, maybe more, maybe longer, but maybe in a different style, in a different way. So, but I take 2 weeks out, last week of the year and the first week of the year. Kids are out of school, and I just need some time for everybody to regroup. So, yep. So that's what I do with that. Yeah, New Year's resolution. Couldn't think of it for nothing because I just think it's something that goes out the window. Most people, all the gyms are full. When school starts, all the schools are full. And people just give up before they start good enough. Like the gyms, my daughter, I have a couple daughters that are just always working on themselves. And I guess because I set a pretty good example, but I'm not bragging or nothing. But anyway, um, they don't go during those times because they say it's just too crowded. It's too crowded, morning, noon, and night. And we'll just, this one specific daughter said, I'm just not even gonna go during this time because I know that like in a week or two, those goals are not gonna be, it just, people stop. People stop doing before they could get good results. They just stop just right there. Um, that goal didn't work out. So what I do is not a goal, but a resolution. And it's funny because what is a resolution? A resolution basically is saying that it's something you've resolved to do, something that you're going to do. And most people don't stick with it. So yeah, resolution is a joke. People don't follow through. And so setting realistic goals, setting realistic goals is something different. Like getting to 1K. You're gonna get them. You're gonna get there. As long as you're striving to get there, it's gonna happen. And then you're moving toward that. Like Four Horns is almost there. I don't know, are you there yet? But there's a time when you just get stuck and it's like, wait a minute, where are you, Four Horn? She is at 970. And so it's coming. So if you guys have not had Four Horns Farm, she's working on getting to her 1K. And let's see who else came in. Screw was here. Four Horns Pharmacy. Good morning. Gigi's gluten-free lab is here. Cooking with, is it Edwin? Is here. Not yet. I'm doing okay for someone who's working full time. You got a lot of stuff going on, but it's coming. So, like I said, if you don't have menopause hottie, good morning. Did I speak to you? Good morning. I'm sorry if I didn't. Um, oh goodness, I'm sorry. I mean to speak to everybody who comes in here. And sometimes I got to talking and I was in my feelings, which I'm in my feelings again. And I just need a few moments to breathe and then I can keep on going. But the other day, it was just like, oh my goodness, I could not. I could not. And so the awesome thing about StreamYards is that I could still be talking and, you know, you didn't have to see that. Like my whole eyes had changed and all that good stuff. So um, I'm still moving, which is awesome. I'm still moving because that kind of determination that I have, I think I was set up like that as a child. It's like, I for the most part, we were with my grandmother. While my mom and dad worked, she took care of me and my brother. It was just us two at that time. And the the wisdom and everything that I have is straight from grandma. And I still have good work ethic from my parents and good work ethic, of course, from my grandmother too. But most of like all of them put together was like the village. Like I got the village right in the house. You know what I mean? So and I used to always look at my grandma and say, why is she telling me this stuff? Like, I'm just a kid. But now it's so valuable. Like everything she was telling me is very valuable. And I use it. I promise you, I use everything that she taught me. Everything. And she used to write too. And then when she stopped writing, I used to write for her. So like all her bills and organizing her bills and stuff. And so I did all that stuff, y'all. And I just I find that as I get older, like it's not a secret. Like I just want to tell everybody about what's working for me and what didn't work. But I don't want to feed it into people. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that. You can just say, um, I'm not sure if I want to point out where it looks like you might be headed, but I do that with my kids and they just hate it. You know, if they had a bad day at school and they come home and I'm saying it don't look like you headed in the right direction right now. And they go in on me, they're like, you always say that. You don't never think that I'm doing okay. I said, what do you expect from me? Why are you expecting for me to be anything other than a mother? What is it? You want me to be your friend, but I can't do that. Because what? I'm a mom. And so I'm going to act like a mom and talk like a mom and think like a mom. And they just hate it. But, just like I did when my grandmother would be just speaking to me and she would just be using the Bible like, I'd be like, there she go. She got her Bible in her hand and she's telling me like, don't get out there and do what so and so is doing because she would be using that Bible and she would be like, this is what's going to happen to you. And I was just afraid. That's what's going to happen, Grandma. And then I would go in my room because she was one of a 7-day Adventist. So, like on Fridays is when she would really get to preaching and stuff. I'm like, okay, what? The devil. That stuff scared the mess out of me. So she would have me, come in there and read her a scripture or two. And I'd be like, okay, Grandma. Because she couldn't read it herself. But so I was like her eyes and stuff. So that's why I'm like, okay, let me get myself in order. I'll be right back because that didn't work for me. So let me just kind of shut things down for a minute. And then I come back and I'll be like, okay, it's time for you to go hard, Tisa. But then stop and breathe and then come back to it. And so that's what I'm trying. I'm doing my best to say, you know what? Y'all need to stop and look at the sky. Just stop and just kind of see what the sky is looking like today. Listen to the birds. And it's funny because when I put my whole laptop outside, I just wanted to capture the sunrise. I had no idea that the birds were out there going, just talking and singing and stuff until I stopped and I was just doing all kinds of stuff, fussing with the kids and cleaning the kitchen, mopping the floor. And I sat down, I think it was a Saturday, and I sat down and I just listened. And I wasn't even focused on the sun anymore. I was just listening to the birds. I was like, wow, those birds are so loud out there. And let me see what you guys are saying before sometimes I do a lot of talking when I get nervous, and then other times I just don't say nothing. I'm just listening. But Flower Glamorous, thank you for hanging out still. She said you are so blessed. You was blessed. So I know that now, but I didn't think so as a child, and I think that's where my children are with me as well. Um, Four Horns Farm says my youngest doesn't get that I'm a mom. Of course not. She is very disrespectful to me because she wants me to be her friend and not tell her what to do. Sometimes me and Tiana go back and forth because she's only in school twice a week, which is good for her. And a lot of people, I'm going to tell you something. I know each and every last one of my kids intimately. I know what they will do and I know what they won't do, whether I'm in front of them or not, because that's just who I am. And I tell them, um, primarily my 9-year-old son, he comes home and he was like, I had a great day. I had an awesome day. It was wonderful. And I'm just thinking, okay. And I look at him and I said, you know, that whatever you hid from me today that happened at school today, your teacher is going to call me and let me know, right? And he was like, why do you think something happened today? And I just said, you know, you came in the house offering information. You don't usually do that. You just usually come in and you want a snack and you want to do some other things that you normally do. But this day, you came in telling me how wonderful your day was. That's unusual. Why would you do that? And so he was like, you just never believe me. But that's just what they do. But the 9-year-old, who is the youngest, she's the youngest of the nine, and she's only goes to school twice a week. I've been homeschooling her, you know, because I tried to put her in kindergarten, and we are just teaching them everything we know. Our children, we're teaching them everything we know. And so they are very well informed. So this one, when she started kindergarten, she was like, my mom and my dad have already taught me these things. And she was like this teacher. And I kept telling her because the teacher would like email me on the spot, even during class. And I was thinking, why is she emailing me in class? I know what kind of child I got. That's why I'm sending her to school. Um, and she would just say, well, Tiana doesn't want to be in the group with the other children. She said she wants to have her own group and she wants to teach the children in her own group. And so I said, that's like my child, you know, I know that she's doing that. But the last straw was when the teacher was teaching and she got on top of the table and she said, I need my own group. I want to be a teacher today too. And so I took her out this just that same day. She's not lacking on social skills whatsoever. She when we're in grocery stores and stuff, she'll go up to the the parent of the child and say, why is your child crying? Why is she crying like this? Um, and I have to tell her, you know what, Tiana, I really don't want you doing that. But she just got a very strong personality. And what you probably need to do, I can't tell you what to do, is just rechannel that energy to something that she can boss. Like I got some stuff that in the house that Tiana can teach. So um, you might be able to teach me like she is teaching me every day what her personality is, but I'm mama and um, we're not friends. Um, we might be able to be friends when you're an adult, but for right now, and that's one thing that my grandmother taught me too. I took my first child. It was customary in my family that after you had a baby, we would take the baby to grandma's house, and grandma would hold the baby and sing to the baby. And the first thing she did with my first child is she said, you can't be friends with this child. You have to be a mother now. You are a mother. And so I was like, okay, what does that mean? But as time went by and this boy, you know, was starting to challenge me, you know, and just say different things and do different things, I was like, I get that. Okay, I get it now. You cannot be friends with your children. And a lot of people might disagree with that. But the moment you start coming to their childlike level, um, they don't think of you as an authority anymore. They think of you as their friend, their so as far as I just don't with them. I don't because my grandmother taught me that, and then I've seen some things out of them over the years, and it's just like I'm mama, honey. I don't care how friendly or how much I might be able to school you with this education, but this is who I am, and we might be friends when you're an adult. I have some adult children, and we don't always get along and see eye to eye. In fact, sometimes we've had to step away from our relationship as they are adults until they can, you know, just come back because that young adulthood is something else too. If you think that the younger ones are being that way, wait until they get 18, 17, and 18 and 21, and they know everything. They know everything. I can't wait to move out. Okay, you are so armed, honey. Um, I'm here though. If you need me, it just depends on what level of necessity you need. Flower Glamour says, your grandmother has such great wisdom, and I am glad that you receive it now. Yes, because parenting is taking on a different style these days. I know that I only have two grandchildren of of all the kids. I have four adult children, and the other three adult children are choosing not to have any children. And so just one of them, my daughter, my eldest daughter has two boys, and she was like, I am not going to do anything that you taught us to do. I just want the children to be free. I don't want them to have no kind of discipline. And I just want them to go to bed whenever they want to. And so we took a break from our relationship because when they come to visit, sometimes I have to be grandma and not a friend. And so she wasn't appreciating that. And so I said, well, you might not, you might have to take a break. You might have to take a break from this relationship because I still have some younger children here, and I don't want them to think that when their nephews come over here that they can get away with things that they can't get away with. And so she's changed. The last time she was here, she was like, the boys have a bedtime, and she's a little bit more stricter with them. When she came over, she was like, you guys can't play on those stairs like that. And I was like, wait a minute, what kind of a Shanae are you? what? So, it took her some time to come to an appreciation of what her mama had been teaching her and her dad had been teaching her. But I think she, I think she's starting to get it. And it takes some time for children to get things. It really does. The teacher should have let her have a group. She was young. She was young, and that's why I pay attention to teachers, and I pay attention to how I speak to them, and I pay attention. But um, like I have a son that's 14 as well, and the teacher was calling me in the middle of the day saying that this one was talking back, and I said, "What you mean? Look, what you mean you allowed him to talk back to you in your class? Your class? Because he don't do that here. What you mean you allowed my son to talk back to you in your class?" I said, "What's the policy? What do you guys do anymore at the school?" And I said, "I can't do nothing for him here. You could put him on the phone, but that consequences will be at home. That won't be in your class." So I don't know. It's just that there is nothing I can do for it. I could come pick him up, but then you guys won't make that money for the day. You don't want me picking up children. You don't want me to I don't want to bring them home. Furthermore, he needs to stay right there. That's what I sent them for. And if you having some disciplinary problems with him, then you need to do what schools do when you have disciplinary issues with children. Um, because some kids calling their parents on the spot don't work anymore. But he already knew when he came in the door. He was like, shaking his head. I'm like, okay. Children can learn from each other. They sometimes do. Sometimes they do learn from each other. But for the most part, at this age, oh, the Brooks family. Welcome to the live. Thank you for coming in. Four Horns Farm, I would just tell her, just keep working with her. Just keep, because I gotta keep working with Tiana. It's an age thing. We take turns when we go out, because she is here with me on everywhere, and we take turns. You go to a place that you want, and then next time, mommy can go to a place. And I don't have to do that, but I'm just saying she's here with me and everything. It's okay to do it, and so she got to a place where she didn't want me to take my turn. And um, I said, we just gonna come home then because mommies are important too, and mommies want their turns too. And if you're not gonna honor mama's turn, then it's a wrap. Um, because they don't think that, I don't know what they think we are. I don't know. I have no idea as to what children think parents are. They just there to guide them and navigate them through what they only want. And I'm constantly teaching them that no, mama is important. And if you don't think mama's important, then because I carried you, listen, I carried you. So I'm just as important as you are. And teaching them that is like they don't think it. So we have to teach them. And I just think that you need to be patient with her and just let her know, be firm and be solid and be consistent. That's what I'm learning. You're not going to get away with that. I'm going to be consistent with my discipline and I'm going to be consistent with, who I am. I'm not changing. I'm not going to change because you don't like who I am right now. You might like who I am when you get 50. Look, when you get 40, but for right now, I'm just gonna stay consistent in who Tisa is because why change for you when I can monitor and control my own life? You came for me. Not that you're not less important than I am, but like I said, mothers for some reason have a we get a bad rap, y'all. I promise you with the kids and with everybody else, because as soon as something don't go right in the house, they don't look for the daddy no more. It's like they come looking for the mama. Where did mama at? And it's like, I promise you, we don't roll like that in here. He did that in your class because you don't have a solid let's blame the teachers now though, right? Because I feel like we're at the ATM machine. Okay. Enjoy that. Um, but okay. Yeah, so I'm thinking everything is, yeah. Good morning, hot sauce junkie. Welcome to the live. How are you this morning? Everything is my fault. Yeah. But you have to teach them. I wasn't, look, I be telling them I wasn't even there when you did that. How was that my fault? I don't mind telling them. Just like my mom and my dad and my grandma did for me, and some other very valuable souls that I had in my life, sat down and taught me. Like there was some things in the Bible that I didn't understand when I got old enough and decided to do a Bible study for myself. There was some things that I didn't understand, and I was like, that don't make no sense whatsoever. And um, the lady that was studying with me, she said, it doesn't matter, Tisa, what you think about it now, but when it's time and if you pray over it, you will start to understand. She didn't scold me or nothing, which is, what I have to learn on not doing. Kids appreciate you many years later. Yeah, I'm thinking because they take for granted just even having food in the house. They take that for granted. They're like, but you went to the store, but we didn't just have to have celery, but we could have had like some chips or something for today. And I said I just didn't feel like going today. I didn't feel right, or I didn't feel good, and I didn't feel like going. But why? But you knew we had to come home. Listen. And so that's why I get to who really is the parent in here? Eat what's in the cabinets. Um, I am just headed out to work. How are you guys doing this morning? I'm okay. I'm okay. I have been in my feelings just this last, you know, couple of months. No, I don't want to say maybe the last month. I have been in my feelings because I get to a point where I start thinking about my mom, and it messes things up. It doesn't mess things up, but it's like I find myself breathing more and I find myself, because one of the other things that I wanted to talk about too is my mother, I was never prepared. I mean, sometimes you can never be prepared for a person's death, but um my grandmother talked that talk. Like she said stuff like that. She said, when I'm no longer here, just the language. When when I um when I die, she would say stuff like that. But my mother never did that. She never talked about herself passing. Never. And so when it happened, it knocked me off my feet. It really did. When my grandmother died, I was so sad and I was just, you know, it was something that I felt like, well, she lived. She really lived and she really gave back. But my mother didn't do that. And when my dad died, he was sick. He was sick for years and years and years, because he had cancer and it was better and worse and better and worse. So he had cancer for like 12 years. And so um, I had been in different places with him and my mother had, and stuff like that. So it was saddening time. It was a very sad time, but it was expected. We saw it coming. But with my mom and her not talking that language, it was just shocking to me, and it still is. So I've been in my emotions around this time of the year, and I know, I kind of brought it out last month when I said, be kind to people, be kind to people because you don't know what people are going through. You don't know where their minds are, and you don't know why they're lashing out at you or why they're not being kind to you. But you don't know what people are suffering with in silence. Like me, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm not hiding things. If I'm suffering, I'm gonna let you know. With my mother, she was raised that way though. We were raised that way. Like we don't tell everybody what's going on in the family. And while I believe to a certain extent that you got to have some privacy in your home, there are some things that should be shared because people are living in a time when they need to learn how to cope properly, and they need to learn how to manage their emotions properly. And if I'm not speaking out on juicing or I'm not speaking out on getting into a stress free zone, I think that, which is where I find myself being, I think that I'm kind of doing like I'm not living the way other people have showed me things and taught me things. And we're not doing that in silence anymore. I'm not hiding things that are working for me. Let's see. Gigi says, you are keeping them grounded. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, but I found myself yesterday, my 14-year-old son, I was like, you are not doing well. You was not here when I got home. And you supposed to be sitting right here when I get home. So I let him have it. But I'm doing my best. And, and it's like, I don't regret that, but I think I need to take maybe some better words. I ain't sitting around cussing nobody out, but um, I'm praying for a better me every day. Hot Sauce Junkie says, are you talking about how kids drive us nuts? And don't get me started. Um, let's just sit here and think about that because some days, if I don't get into my little stress-free zone, but um, I have this daughter, right? I have 5 daughters, but I have this one daughter that's Shannon, and she is. I think all of them have some kind of wisdom in them, but this is the one that always says, "But mom, that's what you asked for." And I said, shut up, be quiet. Don't tell me what I asked for when I'm in a complaint mode and I'm telling you that I'm looking for solutions. But then she said, but that's what you told me. So even when and she's gonna be what? Well, she just turned 29. So yeah. I like when they try to use the wisdom you gave them back on you. So it don't get no better when they get grown. I promise you. It just they start becoming a you on you. Good morning, Melanie, the moderator. How are you? I have an errand to run. I will talk to you later. Okay. Um, Four Horns Farm. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out with me. You're going very natural form of grieving. Yep. I believe that, like I said, even though this with my mom, it just knocked me off my feet. I had to take care of a couple sisters and take care of her home and do some stuff that I wasn't received real, I wasn't, I believe that I wasn't, um, I had to make some major decisions that wasn't received well. And so that also came into play. And it's just like, get in my own zone and continue to be who I am as a person because people, places, and things in their own grieving state will continue to knock you down. But you have to get to a place where you shut the door and get into a zone of your own. Because if you don't, you will be overcome by what other people want for you. And most of the time, when they want something for you, they don't even have it themselves. But because I'm in a compromised place right now, um, sometimes people, places, and things think that they can get over, but they should know me better than that by now. It's like, I will block all of yous until I get to a place where where I can think. I will block everybody because Vern, hi. Did I speak to you? Did I speak to you? I hope I did. I try to get everybody in here, and I promise you, if I don't speak to you, it's because I didn't see you. But I do my best, and I specifically ignored because I couldn't get them up on my phone. Somebody that I thought was a troll. But if you're not a troll and you came in here and you had the name that sound like a troll, I apologize. But you was looking, sounding, and feeling like trollish. But um, I apologize if you're not a troll. Um, but I just couldn't pull you up right quick on my phone. You're exactly right. And yeah, so that's just what I know at this time. I'm only speaking from my experience. And my grandmother was so key. And, as this little girl, and I'm just sitting there, she had a lot of stuff to tell me about her growing up. Her mother was killed when she was 5, so her grandmother had to take care of her. And just all this wisdom and all this stuff that I learned from her. And she spoke these things, and I feel like everything that she said to me is like truth. And I used to tell her, I'm not going to live like that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that. That's not going to happen to me. And that is not what happened. Everything that she talked about, everything that she said. Um, and my children have a different appreciation for my mother. They were like, my nana could cook, and she could do this, and she could do that. But my mother, when I was younger, worked all the time. Remember, she didn't cook. My grandmother did all the cooking, and but by the time my older children had gotten old enough, my mother had retired and she was now taking care of my grandmother and doing the cooking. And so when I was younger, my mother didn't cook. My dad and my grandmother did the cooking. So that's where I mostly learned from. I learned from my grandmother and I learned from my dad, and my mother-in-law helped me with cornbread. But I learned how to do that from them. But then my children was going to their grandmother after she retired, of course, and then started working again. But she was teaching them some stuff, and we were always like, uh, this is not like grandma's, but okay. Anyway, let's see. Yes, please remember to hit the like button for the hostess. Please and thank you. So this reminiscing has been very good for me. I appreciate that. I don't remember what started it, but I get into this mode like right around this time because I want to. Over the years, I've been using my photography and that I love and picture taking and video and recording to capture memories. I'm always in somebody's face with a camera. And so I have all these pictures and all these memories that I want to talk about on my other channel. So if you guys don't know that I have another channel and it is my full name, Tisa Renee Green. So if you've been seeing me floating around, that's my other page. And I'm on that page, what I'm hoping to do is just share some of the things that my day-to-day living and my day-to-day interactions with my family. And I had to kind of back up from it with the new rules because I was going to do some different things on it until I found out about the new rules. So that's why I got my notebook out again, y'all. I had to redo some things. And even though none of the pages are set up for children, um, I still am rethinking how I say stuff because I don't want. It's not for children. It's not set up. It's not going to be set for children. So, um, yeah. So that is what I had to say this morning, you guys. Again, I'm having celery. I am having celery this morning. I'm gonna juice that as soon as I get off of here. But one of the things that I'm hoping to do, and that's why I was wanting to figure out StreamYards, is I want to have some panel discussions. And that is one of the new things that I want to bring to both channels is, basically, what are you doing? How are you doing to help yourself? And not just my mouth all the time, but this is working for me, but how is that working for you too? And one of the things that everybody knows, or if you don't know, tonight I talk about gardening. I'll be on Saturdays in the evening. I talk about gardening specifically. And so I'm not sure if I'll be going on live in the evening time on Friday nights and Sunday nights because I have to get my mind right for the children and having them back in school and my busy week, what that'll look like. So I do my best to kind of take Sunday to make sure that clothes are all in place, you know, things are all in place for the new week, and then just so I can breathe before it starts. So I can breathe before it starts. Yeah, I still don't have a full understanding. I have to go, but I have been blessed and will be back. Much love and blessings. Thank you so much. I feel like I've been blessed just to be able to sit here and speak. So thank you for coming, and I have an awesome day. Let's see. I don't have a full understanding. So when you say you don't have a full understanding of what exactly are you looking to understand correctly? What are you trying to understand? Attempting to understand? goodness. Allergies right here, right? Okay, it's okay, Gigi. She's probably typing. So I need to figure out how to disable my notifications that come on this computer. Yeah. So what are you trying to understand, Gigi? So if I can't help you, I'm gonna try to point you in a direction that someone else can help you with. If it's YouTube, it's Vern. If it's YouTube, it's Vern. It's Flower. Is let me see who else is helping others with Pusa Studios. I can, I know that a lot of people recommend Pusa Studios, and I'm not saying that I don't, but I can't follow. It's too busy for me. Pusa Studios is too busy for me, and I just I feel like it's a grow channel, so I can't focus on many. So I go to Vern. If it's something that I need to have clarified, I go to two different places. Um, Good morning, gardening realtor. How are you? Man, 6 feet up early. This is what 6 feet. What does that mean? Um, 6 feet all up early. Yeah, y'all. Oh, y'all. I was trying to figure that out. Yeah, it's 5:41 right here, right now. I'm right at 5:41. I am up early. Yes, on a Saturday, but sometimes you got to. Sometimes you gotta. And if I wait until the kids get up, it's a wrap. So I'm not. This is the best time for me. I was taught you at the tire shop. I had to call. I had some repairs done on like my favorite car, right? And I refuse to give that car up right now. I'm holding on to it. And the check engine light came on me this this week. And I said, this ain't nothing but the. And so I waited all week long, and I said, I'm gonna call because I just had some major repairs done on it. And I was so happy to hear that the repairs that I had done on it are a 2-year warranty. I said, look at God. So I'm gonna have it towed in there on Monday. They said I shouldn't have waited until the whole week rolled by, but we don't have no appointments until Monday. Okay. So I'm gonna have it towed over there and get it looked at. Good morning, Ghost Pirate. How are you? Let me get I have been I want that up there. Wow, and you can't really see people's pictures until you get them up here. I could see your picture better. Good morning, Ghost Pirate. Morning, everybody. How are you doing, Ghost? How you doing? How you doing this morning? Yeah, I did that with the tires. I'm telling you, I went through the tire thing was crazy last year because when I first moved here, I was born and raised in San Diego. And so when I first moved here, I didn't act like I lived here. I went back to San Diego to do everything, doctor's appointments, um, dental appointments, shopping. I wasn't just familiar with here and I didn't want to do anything here. So I'd be traveling. And just to give you an idea of what that looks like, San Diego is probably about 70 miles away from where I am now. So I was just back and forth. And so my tires, was needing to be replaced. And I just say forget it. I'm like, just put the new tires on instead of, is there a warranty? But I do that now. I'm like, no, wait a minute. No, I need to figure out some stuff and I need a warranty because I just bought these tires and no. And so that's what I'm doing, just like with the car. No, I spent a little chunk of change because this is my favorite car and I hate car payments. So, and it's looking like the car that I want maybe in time when the wheels fall off of this one car is right at about $60,000. And I ain't got it. I don't even want to make it. I just said forget it. So I'm gonna drive this car until the wheels fall off of it because I'm a cheapo. And I just think that that's crazy and ridiculous. Good morning, Tylita. Welcome to the live. How are you this morning? Look, and happy Saturday. I need to get with you. I'm hoping that somebody will get me some soap between you, Tylita, and Celeste. I'm feeling like I might need that soap for the wintertime. I can't use it on my face, but I can use it, everywhere else. But I really want to get some natural soap and try to see how that works for me. And I really need to get me some more candles. I didn't either warm the ones that I have on the warmers are don't no longer have the smell like I need them to have. And look, then I need when I cook too, it takes so much away. And so I was cooking yesterday and it's like the food was good, but the odor has settled in the house and I hate that. I hate the smell that comes after you've cooked. So um normally we'd be opening up windows and turning on fans and stuff like that, but it's too cold for that right now. Yes, there are some really great channels in here. So, you know, you know what we do. Do it the right way. Let's see. There are some amazing channels in here. And that's pretty typical too. Like every time I open up the door, some people come through here and I'm like, ooh, ooh, but I was in tears this morning, I promise you. Like there's been some people that I watch and that I think, are amazing. And it's like, y'all have come over here to visit my house? It's just, if you send me an email with your info, I can send a sample. Okay. But if you look in my about section, I have a P.O. box there. I got a P.O. box because there's it's right there. And I just, it's not hard to find me. It's really not. Let me see. Let me see. So yeah, I would like to do that. I would like to um try some things because like I said, my skin is so sensitive. It's what I call hypersensitive. And it just my face doesn't the only thing I can use on my face is oils. I can't use any kind of soap, just oil and water. And I got to be kind of careful with how much water I put on it because it'll just dry all of this out right here. All of this will be completely dried and it's not what I'm eating. So I just have to be really careful on what I put. Hi, Food Forest. Welcome to the live. We are having celery today because I need to get to a point where, and I think that's probably why I'm just doing a lot of celery anyway. Celery really helps it says it, but I believe it, that it really helps to get you in a good mood. It's supposed to be helpful to stabilizing the mind. So um, I'm almost certain you can use ivory soap. If not, I get a rash on my face. You can use ivory? Really? The white bar only, right? Because I've heard like some people, you know how some people can use that white Dove, just the white one, like the doctors recommend it. I can't. I can't use none of that, and I'm shocked that you can use ivory. But it just goes to show you that what works for me will not work for you. What it might, but you got to try it. But we are all different, and it comes in a garden. We have different zones. It comes out on everything. What works for me won't work for you, but I can tell you what I'm doing. I cannot do either. That is why I make soap. And so I'm gonna start utilizing. I don't want to make soap. I want to do other things. I want to make other things, but I need to I need to get with some people who are, so I can know exactly what's in my soap. And I just don't. When you buying stuff, and this is a whole nother topic, a whole nother show. But when you buying stuff, you don't know what's in it. You don't know what they're putting in it. And so I'm to the point where it's like, okay, I don't want to use that um, on my face. Something is happening when I put that on my face. It burns and then it dries out. And then I have this rash going all the way across here. And then how to get me real humble is with my juicing, right? I haven't had a pimple on my face in the last couple of years, right? And today, not today, but last week sometime, I woke up with this thing right here. And I said, oh God, that's gonna make me real humble this week. Oh goodness. So that is how I am and where I am right now in my life. Like, you got a pimple on your face. You need more juice. So I don't want to be offensive to anybody, but celery also helps with skin. And as I go through my issues with my digestive tract, and that's typical for women. As you age, your digestive tract starts to develop some issues. And so there's a sensitivity when it comes to eating. You can't just eat any old thing like you used to. You need to really get into listening to your body and what it's telling you. So you can, I hope you aren't under too much stress. I'm not sure if I'm not under too much stress, but like my older daughter would say to me, this is what you got into. Like, you had those children. Um, you have that, whatever. These are things in life that you chose. And so I can't take them away, but I can make sure that I am carving out, carving out, carving out some time for myself to think and relax and be in a zone. So some of us have stressed filled lives that we cannot get out of. And we have to get to a point where we are learning how to manage. And so I'm in a place where I am learning how to manage. Norgis R, how you doing? How are you? Welcome to the live. Um, yeah, wait a minute. Oh goodness. I'm not gonna say that I'm not living a stress-filled life. I'm just gonna say to you that I'm doing things that help me with it, if that makes sense. So I'm digging in dirt for my garden. I'm watching the sunrise. I'm listening to the birds. And there is a bedtime in this house. We have a bedtime, and I stick to it. And like maybe on the weekends, I give them an extra hour. But I give them an extra hour. But I've always had a bedtime. My grandmother taught me that. I was always on a schedule. My father was in the military. So I've always been on a schedule. My mother always had a work schedule. And my grandmother had us on the schedules too. So I'm on a schedule. My body operates on a schedule. And some people had wanted to, that I've raised, had wanted to come off a schedule. And she quickly learned that she does not need to be off no schedule. So that life will throw you off those schedules. And sometimes when you're operating in survival mode, because I call it that, when you have had things that happen in your life and you are knocked completely off your feet, that schedule will come. It'll come to you. And you might not even be knowing what motions you're going through, but you operating on that schedule, what I call my survival mode. I'm in survival, not right now, but then I was in survival mode. I didn't know. I was getting up when my mother died. I was still running a full house, had taken in some extra kids, my sisters, and taking them back and forth to school, 7 children, and still functioning and still, doing my best to maintain my sanity. And so I'm telling you, that schedule worked for me. Um, yes, welcome to the live. That schedule worked for me. So you can't get out of some of these stress-filled lives. Like if you a caregiver, how you get out of that? You don't get out of being a caregiver. My mom had to take care of my grandmother, and it was a had. She had to because that was her mom. She didn't have to, but in her mind, she had to. And so it's not easy to be a caregiver. And so how do you relieve stress on being caregiver? Where a lot of us are caregivers. How are you taking care of you? You're providing care, and this is what I've been preaching. This is my ministry now. It used to be kids and kids only, but no, I'm getting out of that. I'm getting out of that. But what I'm doing my best to teach others is that you need to take care of who you are because there's only one of you. And if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not providing care for yourself, if you're not paying attention to the things that go in your body, not maintaining your sanity and not, receiving things, people, places, and things, if you're not putting them in their places and you're constantly allowing them to be in your zone and your state of mind, and you constantly allowing others to say, you need to do things this way, and they're not managing their own lives properly. When I say do things this way, I'm not talking about a healthy lifestyle or a healthy way of living. I'm talking about you got to do things this way, this how, and they're not healthy for you. But what I'm saying is when you get into your own zone and you are learning how to look things up for yourself and you are learning how to care for yourself properly, it the way that you look at things is different. You look at things differently. You smell things differently. You hear things differently. You hear them. Because there was a time in my life where I didn't hear nothing. Because I needed to be in a zone that I could think. I was making decisions, big decisions. And I don't, I keep saying I don't even know how I was able to make all those huge, major decisions, but I do because I was geared, I was taught, I was trained, and I got to a point where I was listening. My grandmother used to get up hours early before we did, hours early before we did. And she would be in there humming and singing her songs. And I was like, why is she up? But now I get it. She was in her own zone. I had to get a professional to tell me to do that. But I had already been taught by her. This is what she was doing. When she was in there preparing holiday meals and stuff, I would wonder why there was this overall sadness on her. She would be in there humming her songs, rocking and cooking her cooking, cooking. My grandmother would be in there cooking from scratch. We sifted things. You don't sift nothing now, but we were sifting. So she would be in there humming, and she would be up early, early in the morning. So I don't have many excuses. Like I've been taught, I've been trained, and I'm teaching my own. Um, I don't have many excuses on why I can't strive and work hard and do stuff. I've been taught as a child how to do those things. And so I'm just saying, take care of yourself. We get to a point where my grandmother had she become a diabetic and had high blood pressure, and she wanted what she wanted, what she wanted. She would get my dad to sneak her salt pork, for example. A lot of you might not would know what that is. She would say, and we'd be like, I wouldn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it for her. When I got to a point where I was able to drive and I was taking her back and forth to the doctors and stuff like that, I didn't get it. She would say, "You need to go." So, but she could get my dad because my dad wanted it. He shouldn't have had it either, but she would get him to do it. And so, what I'm just trying to say is, I'm not gonna buy your cigarettes for you. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna buy the salt pork for you. I'm not gonna buy these things because I don't agree with them, and I don't agree with you know putting those things in your body. And I ain't gonna be a participant in helping you die. So I'm just saying that's just where I am right now in my life. Um, Been a pleasure, Green Organic Love, all the best folks. Yeah, there's some awesome people in here. I was taught that you have to have an education and work hard. It's true. That is very true. I believe that having an education is awesome, but I was taught from people who, my grandmother, her highest level of education was eighth grade. So I was taught by her mostly. And even though I learned from a lot of people, she had some wisdom on her that she could have probably wrote a book and it would have been a bestseller. But um, yeah, so I think that having an education is very, 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 very important, and not leaning so heavily on others for that education. Like if I'm telling you, for example, and I'm picking on you, Vern, but if I'm telling you, for example, that Vern has the information that you might need to run a successful channel, and you're listening to everything that she tells you, but you don't do no research on your own. You don't say, well, let me see what the guidelines say. Let me go over here and look at what the guidelines are saying so I can know that this is not what someone else said to me. Then I believe that you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, get over there and listen to what she's saying so you know where to go and where to start with things. But I research everything. I look into all things. Like, what email? What did you guys get? Y'all got an email? I'm not doing nothing until I see the email myself. Change what right now? So, like, I'm juicing, right? And I tell people what I'm working for, what I'm doing with this celery, it does this, it does that, and it does the other thing. But you need to go look that up for you. Before you do it, you need to talk to your doctor. My doctor knows what I'm doing over here. I'm not doing nothing in secret. And so that's what I'm just saying. I graduated, but my goal was to be a wife, mother, and nanny. And I'm okay with that. As long as you okay with that, I'm okay with it. That's you. And that's what's working for you. You are educated mama. And it ain't nothing, and an educated wife. There is nothing wrong with that. And anybody who got a problem with that, it's because they have problems with their own disposition in life, with where they are. Because everybody will tell, like, oh my goodness, I have to talk about this. People have been talking about silent live streams, and it's been on my mind. Like when I first came to YouTube, I was looking for a silent live stream because there is a period of my life where I don't want to hear no talking. I don't want to hear nothing. I want to listen to music. I want to listen to some natural things. I want to listen to no talking. And so I'm just saying, if you running your own channel successfully, why are you talking about what somebody else is doing in their life? Unless it's positive. Why are you so concerned with the channel that does not have your name on it? Why are you preaching that you don't think it's fair for someone who's doing a live stream and that's not content? Why do you care? There's people that want to hear the birds singing. There are people who want to see the sunrise. So why do you care? That's going to raise your blood pressure. Why do you care? And it is content. So even though I don't feel like I need to explain, I do it anyway. I wish more people would get in there, because I feel like if you took the time to sit there and listen to it, it might make your day go a lot smoother. If you took the time just to sit there and watch how beautiful it's coming up right now. The sun is literally coming up right now as I speak over the mountain. I'm surrounded by mountains where I live at right now. And it's like, it's the most gorgeous thing. And I never liked mountains, but I'm carving that out for myself. Let's see. How is it to do silent stream? And my stream isn't really like I didn't sit up a camera to the wall and say, y'all just watch this wall so I can get some watch hours. That's not what I'm doing. I put my whole laptop out on the stand that I purchased so that because I was taking pictures of it initially and I said, this would be so cool just to stream this and see, how the the sky changes over time, like lapse time, but in real time. And I just put my laptop over there, start a live, and I can literally watch it from my phone. I don't have to be standing by it. And I just respond whenever I can remotely. And I think it's amazing. I think it's the most amazing thing. Gardening Realtor says that's why I always say what I do in my garden is for my garden, not what someone else should do. Right. Because the only thing that you can do is share what you're doing. And, it's like, I don't get that about people, but I mean, I'm going to keep on doing it until I'm told that I can't do it. And then I'm going to do it anyway, even if I just do it for myself, because that's my mindset. And there's this one stream that's going on that I saw. And It's a 24-hour stream. There was no less than 900 people on any given time in the 24-hour period. Live stream playing 24 hours, 900 people and up in the stream. So, and YouTube is allowing it. And so why I can't do my birdie slash garden watch over here that people are enjoying, leave me alone. Let me provide. Let me do, even if I'm just doing it for myself, leave me alone. So that's all. And I'm just going to still be able to provide that and still be able to, you know, it's like, don't be mad. I saw one like it. Yeah, I'm okay with it. And as long as there is a need for it, I'm trying to understand. Well, no, I'm not. I just lied. Look at me. Lying. I am not trying to understand why somebody don't like it. That's a lie. And I can't even believe I said that. You be you, honey. Okay. I feel that. I just share Christ Monday through Friday. And I'm okay with that as well. And it's your business. It's your business. That's like saying, you know what, I went to the business offices here. I forgot what they're called, but anyway. And I got myself a business, right? And you gonna get mad at me because of the type of business that I started. And you not only doing that, but you got a whole chat that's in agreement with it. Like what? I'm in front of the camera. I talk in front of the camera. I do this in front of the camera. Okay. I do both. But I feel like if I can get this out there and people can see it in live, right? In live, everything. My dogs sometimes, no, they're not my dogs. Why did I say that? My neighbor's dogs sometimes are barking in it. And it's like, because I played the live, I had like I don't know how many hour live, but I played it in my sleep just so I could hear it from beginning to end. And the dogs are in it. And I'm like, okay, these are natural sounds. But I was just attempting to capture the birds and they're singing and everything. But sometimes the birds spark the dogs and you know what I mean? Hope you feel, oh, I'm missing something. Hold on. They're done with my car. Gotta go chase them dollars. Okay. I know chasing them coins. I know what that's like too. I feel the same way. It's your channel. It is. It really is. Everybody has gifts. And this is what I say too. Everybody has gifts. And who are you to come and tell me how to use my own gift? Just tap into yours. Tap into your gift. And if you feel like sharing it, share that gift. I have no right to tell you how, when, why, or where you should be doing anything. Just make sure you do it on your channel, and that's it. That is it. You know, I might not do what you're doing, and I might not even like what you're doing, but that ain't none of my business because it's my business to make sure that things are going on smoothly over here. And I do a lot of live. I like to listen to what people are saying and what people are doing. I like that. I like to support others, and I like to get over there and see what people are talking about. I like that because that's just who I am as a person. Um, I'm not, because I feel like when I get into my own zone, and people don't get this either, if you're constantly busy and you're not really sitting down and taking time to nurture yourself, it's kind of hard to come up with things. It's kind of hard to sit there and add to what you already have. So when you get into your stress-free zone, when I get into my stress-free zone, that's when I'm creating. That's when I can come up with new. When I sit down at the end of the year, my last week of the year, and it's just me and my notebook and silence, I might play some music. No TV though, no social media. When I do that, um, that's when I become my biggest, that's when I get my best ideas, my best ideas for what I want to do and what didn't work, crossing that off. Maybe depends on what it is. I might try it again later on. But when I'm sitting out there or just sitting in here looking at the sky and listening to the birds, that's when I get my biggest ideas. That's when I'm the best creator, is when I can get into a quiet zone. Like, not everybody needs to be talking in my life at all times. Let the birds talk. Good morning, Backyard Gardener. Welcome to the live. How you doing on this Saturday? Yeah, that is when I get into my biggest and best creative mode, is when I have quiet, my quiet time. I put myself in timeout. Look, leave me alone. Let me get in my timeout. Let me get in my zone. And as long as ain't nobody in here killing themselves, we good. I just make sure that I take care of me. Mommy and wife is just as important and as everybody else in this house, because they get to a point when they want to think that they're more important than I am, and that ain't happening. I That is just not happening. I don't think that children are more important than their parents. Sorry. And a lot of people will argue with me about that. Your child should be put on a pedestal and your child should be first. No. How you going to be more important than me and I carried you? No. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, sir. I'm just as important as you are. And we going to roll out of here together. If there's only one apple, we are splitting that apple up. We're going to split it all up in equal shares because your body goes on this type of a survival mode anyway when there's little. And so even with children, even if you save your child's life and they don't have no parents, what have you created? What are you creating? So I think that we all can, no parent left behind, especially I think both parents are equally as important, but why people want to leave the mama out? Because they don't want to be told exactly how to move and how to go in a mama's voice. No, no mama's left behind. They be saying no kids left behind, no mama's left behind. I'm an advocate for mothers. So that is basically what I am here to talk about. Good. Melanie, the moderator, is saying hi to you, Backyard Gardener. Norgus R, good morning, Backyard Gardener. Ghost Pirate is speaking to Backyard Gardener. Assad Team Built with Geo. Welcome to the live. How are you? Thank you for coming. I appreciate you coming here. So, Flower came earlier, and now you in here. Welcome to the live. And Norgus is here. It's like, and everybody else is here as well. I'm excited. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm excited for, even though there's been so many changes and I see a lot of people getting discouraged. It's like the only thing you really need to do is rethink things out. Rethink, I am great. Thanks for asking, Green Organic Love. And so I deleted a lot of stuff from my other page And the only reason why I deleted those things from my other page is because they were memories um, that I had taken and uploaded with copyrighted content or music. And so I knew that I needed to get that out of there. And so I backed it up. I was already backed up anyway, but I backed it up again just in case. And I deleted all of those. And so sometimes you need to start all the way over. And that's my personal page that I've decided to open up. I have decided to open that page up, and I have decided that my life is going to be used because somebody used their life to teach me. And so that's what I decided that I'm going to do. So let's see what you guys are saying. Love what you are saying. Thank you. And I want to get some panel discussions. I've been watching that really, really closely. I want to actually get some people up here to tell me and to tell others what they are doing to create a stress-free zone in their own lives. Because there's some strong people, and I want to hear from them. I don't just want to be the one talking. I want to hear from others what things are working. And Team Bill Geo says, never give up on your dreams. Start it over. That's how I made it. Yes. Yep. And I believe that's true. Just Bambi, welcome to the live. She says, good morning, Green Organic and chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to put that up there because I think that it is very important that we just don't give up. Just don't give up. Don't do it because people are, you wouldn't believe this, but maybe you would because maybe you guys have some experience just like I do right at 46, right? So people would sit there and wait for you to fail. And with the way that I was raised, it's just not in my blood. I seen my mother and my father and my grandmother do a lot of stuff, legal things. And I have to say that. A lot of stuff. My mother was always working no less than 2 jobs. And when she was sick, when she was sick, when she was sick and terminally ill, she was working graveyard and still being a caregiver. My mom. And so I've been taught not to give up. And I've been taught that when there are changes, you need to adjust. You make adjustments. So you rethink things. You rethink the whole plan sometimes. And one of the things that I say is when you've come up with an idea that is completely in line, and most of you should know what I mean when I say in line, it's going to work for you. But it's maybe the direction that you're taking, maybe that direction that you've chosen to go is not okay. So I always have told myself to reroute it. Like when you're going down a road and you know you need to get from point A to point B, and that road is blocked, they reroute you. And so when you're going down life and you find that there is some blocks, there's some roadblocks, there's some hurdles, and it's something that you really want in life, especially if it's in line, you reroute it. You sit down, you get into that stress-free zone that I'm telling you to get into, and you take some time and get your notebook out and find a different way to go. Reroute it. And so that's what I've been doing in my life. And no, I can't get out of living a stress-free life right now because, like my daughter would say, that's the life that you chose, Mama. So I'm doing my best. to make sure that I don't um, not take care of Tisa, because it's so easy to nurture and take care of other people. That's the easy part. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be easy for you to say, you know what, I've been working hard. Let me go sit down and eat. Sometimes I forget to eat in a day. So I get up and I juice and I'm running, and I would have forgot to eat. But that's not taking care of Tisa, because I had to put that on the schedule. We're taking care of others and not taking care of myself. So I'm just saying that this is what I'm saying. Who did I miss? Let's see. Mac the Knife. Good morning. Is this your first time here? Thank you for coming. Good morning from New York. Welcome to the live. And I'm just talking, y'all. I hope that anything that I'm saying is making sense. I am not telling you that this is the way you have to live, but I'm just sharing with you in all of my 46 years what's working for me, what is working for Tisa, and what hasn't worked. Not so much of what hasn't, but what is. And the fact that I need to take care of me is major. It's major, you know, that is major. And I think that I've been telling people to take care of themselves for years, but I've been especially mamas. I have like this, because I'm a mama, so I have this this obligation, I feel like, to make sure that I tell mamas that they need to take the time, that you are just as important as your children, and you need to help them understand that as well, that we gonna leave out of here together. um, you know? So just focus on your goals. Don't let no one stop you. Yep, I wouldn't. I wouldn't let nobody stop me from getting where I need to be. J3G Farms just got here, y'all. Welcome. He just walked in the building, and I think that there's two. I'm not going to even predict, but welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Thank you for coming in. And I must go, and thank you for being you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you coming in here today and hanging out with me and listening to what I have to say on my ideas of living and how, when you've been taught, you might get away from that for a time, but you might have to start all the way back over and go back to basics, because basics always work. You might have to scrape off all the limelight and the shine and humble yourself and go back to the beginning just to start over again. You might have to do that. And so I appreciate you guys coming in and listening to that, because I think that you just need to take care of yourself and stop being so overly concerned about others. Don't be so overly concerned about others unless you're doing something to give. And then when you give it, release it. Release that. Because some people are talking about how much of a giver they are. And that's not okay either. You're not supposed to be going around talking about what you gave to people. That ain't okay. And I'm sure that there will be some debates on that one, but I don't care. If you gave something to somebody, give it and release it and let it go. Because there's a time when people get to a place where they want to hold on to what they gave. And that could be real. That could mess your mind up so bad. Well, I gave this and I gave that and I did this and I did that. Okay, somebody gave you something, and They're not trying to collect on it, even if it was just time or information. They're not trying to collect back from you. So give it and release it. Because if you keep getting to a point where you saying how much you gave to others, that's what you was being used for. And a lot of people don't want to get that. That's what you was being used for. You was being used to be a giver. And so don't hold on to all the things that you're giving, because those are your gifts. And so if you're giving them away as gifts, you're not going to keep on attaching yourself to that gift, trying to collect. So I have a lot of things that I need to say, but I want to hear from you all. So one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end this live, because I hear little feet moving around, little feet, big feet. Give from your heart and pay it forward. And that is what I'm doing my best to do right now. Um, I'm doing my best to not be attached, so attached to people, places, and things that I lose out on who I am as a person. Because we can do that. We can do that. Like, for example, I need to be working on my channel. I need to be working on my channel. I need to be working on my channel because I'm new here. And I need to stay focused on my channel. And if what I'm saying on my channel is helping somebody else out, then okay. But I can support you in your live, and I can support you by going to see what you're talking about as well. And that's what I've been doing. That is what I've been doing. And not being so attached to people, places, and things that I forget about my own channel and what I'm trying to do over here. So I thank you guys for coming. But I just saw the premiere for Carter's Eats come up, and I'm about to go and check on these feet that are probably getting ready to want some breakfast or something from me. And thank you for coming, you guys. Goodbye.